He was just taking the valley way there. And I wore this yesterday.
All right, getting back on the Presidential Traverse where I left off last year at Valley Way. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little intimidated by this hike because I'm still sore from the other day. Not too bad though, because I did give myself a day to recover, but this was very steep coming down, so it's gonna be very steep going up. I got this. All right, this climb is so steep. It is unrelenting. And last year I came down this, so it was just hard on the knees, but luckily I've been hiking with someone who's been great conversation, and the time just flew by, so I'm already 2.8 miles in, so not too far away from the summit. I've already probably gained, I think it's close to 2,000 feet elevation, actually over 2,000 feet, so gonna take a break here. Got my pack there, just gonna get something to drink and eat and press on. Didn't want to film too much because I filmed this section last year. I'm not summiting Madison because I summited last year. You could see that in last year's video. But whatever else I do on this trip will be documented. All the other mountains, if I feel up to the challenge of summiting, definitely document it. So anyway, I'll get me a break here. Almost to the top of the ridge. There's Madison. That's what I came down last year.
That was a really quick hike up.
Yeah, it went real fast.
What did we start at 11? It's 2 now?
Yeah, it was a little around 10:30, I think.
Okay.
I'll show the people that are coming down from the top. They look like ants. You can see the person wearing red that stands out.
Yeah. I'm surprised there isn't that.
All right, I'm gonna take the AT Airline Trail, 0.4 of a mile. I'm not camping where I did last year at Valley Way campsite. Pressing on to the perch. And you gotta pay $20 for non-AMC members to camp there. So when I get there, I'll pay the caretaker and find a spot. I guess that's Mount Adams. I don't know. Am I gonna have the energy to summit that? We'll see. The views are magnificent up here. I was walking with that girl Nicole for a while there, so the conversation made the time fly. Going up that steep incline up Valley Way Trail to get to the AT connection over here at Madison Hut. 3.5 miles with 3,500 feet elevation gain, no joke. But my legs are actually not feeling too bad. I was taking my time there. We both stopped a lot, but it made it so much easier. You don't notice the passage of time when you're talking. So where 3.5 grueling miles doesn't seem too bad when you have somebody to talk to. But not too many of the people I know want to do stuff like this, so that's why I'm always solo. This hike is pretty insane, going up these rocks. Whew. I don't know if I'm gonna summit Adams, but the girl I was hiking with, she said that she probably wouldn't recommend it because it's like a lunar landscape and it's just a lot of rocks to scramble up, black flies sometimes. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. It looks pretty steep too, but it depends on how it looks when I get to the actual trail for it. All right, as I was telling 3 guys that are doing the traverse and camping at the perch where I'm camping, everything depends on how you feel, even if you have to cheat on the traverse and skip some summits. Because I want to make sure I make it from point to point. I could always come back and bag the ones I miss. Madison is such a big mountain. These mountains look amazing from the valley, but a lot better up on top. Nope. I'll come back to do this one. The cairns mark the way. Because you're walking in rocks here. It's a very rocky trail. So I decided to skip Mount Adams because everybody up here is going to the perch where I'm staying. I think it only sleeps 12. The shelter sleeps 4, I think. And the tent pads sleep 8. So I don't want to get there and find out that it's at capacity. I have to come up with a plan to sleep somewhere because they want you to stay at the designated sites to minimize impact to the environment with tents everywhere. So just trying to press ahead. Everybody's summiting Adams, so maybe that'll give me some time to be the first one at the campsite. Probably won't be the first one, but at least I'll be able to get a spot. All right, folks, I got a really good weather window to do this hike. And so far it's going really good. I'm feeling good. Legs aren't bothering me too much. I do feel a little bit of strain, but for the most part, they are mostly recovered from the other day. Took an ibuprofen this morning. Nice hiking with some other people, having some good conversations with people up here. It's a very communal trail because you're never alone for long. But I got a stretch here where I'm alone, so I thought I'd do some talking. When I arrived on Tuesday, it was 91, sunny. Storms moved in. I was going to start this hike on Wednesday, but the storms moved in Wednesday, late Wednesday through Thursday. So now I chose to start on Friday to better weather. And it's a lot cooler compared to what it was. With sunshine the next 2 days, I'm going to do it on an overnight, staying at the perch shelter. I think this year it's going to be a success. Last year, as you know, I had to come off early, started at Pinkham Notch, only managed to summit Mount Madison, and went down Valley Way, camped at Valley Way campsite, had to call it the next day because I saw in the forecast that rain was moving in. And sure enough, it rained really hard in Bartlett, New Hampshire, where I stayed at the Villager Inn. So I made the right judgment call last year, but this year I've got much better weather, so I think everything's going to go well for this. And the views are remarkable. And Mount Adams can wait till next year because that would definitely make me late to camp, because that looks like it's quite a haul to get up there. A lot of people up here. There's another side to Mount Adams. Kind of looks like an easier summit from this side. Either way, I'll come back and do it. Easy to get lost in this section too, because there's another trail called Lowe's Path. I started following the rock cairns to the left, and it started being nothing but a rock scramble. But I was following the cairns, and the girl was offering directions. I was like, I just looked at my map. I think I'm on the right direction, because I was trying to avoid going down Lowe's Path, because that takes you down the mountain to one of the RMC huts, or shelters, I mean. So I'm going in the right direction towards Mount Washington down the AT. There's Mount Washington. Another 5 miles, I think. Be there tomorrow. All right, you gotta carefully place one foot in front of the other here because it's a rock scramble. Nothing but a rock field going down. Just like coming down Madison last year. Where to put your feet. Guess I'm going with this one. And then that one. That one. That one. Got off the main trail and got onto the Israel Ridge Trail, and it merges with the Randolph Trail. I think it's Randolph Path Trail. And goes down about 4/10 of a mile where it meets Randolph, and then another 4/10 of a mile down to the perch shelter. So drop down about 1,000 feet in elevation, which I'll have to gain in the morning to get back on the main path. Hopefully there's room at this campsite, otherwise I'm screwed. Well, here's the perch shelter. Got room for one more. And a lot of people are heading this way, so there's some tent platforms up ahead, which are also occupied. It's what happens in the White Mountains on the weekends. Everything gets filled up fast. I'm going to show you guys, I'm over here at the campsite. It's crowded, so I'm not doing a lot of filming over there. I don't want to cramp anybody's style. People keep coming too. I feel bad because there's no other place to camp up here unless you want to go down the mountain and try your luck at one of the other sites, which they're probably all crowded on the weekends up here. So I wanted to show you the view here where I'm getting some water, and I'm getting water for another guy in his flask over there. It's crystal clear, good water. So I'm going to go back and eat something. Tent set up. We're making it work on a tent pad. Maybe I'll get a chance to take a picture of it and show it to you guys.
Try it again later.
All right, back on trails, 5:23 a.m. Sunrise is earlier here than North Carolina. So you see it's already getting pretty light out. Should be another half an hour before it's up on the horizon. So I'll get some good views as I get up to the ridge, because I'm 1,000 feet below the ridge here at the perch shelter. Had to top off my water bottles. Didn't sleep well last night. It was crowded at the campsite. A lot of noise. I'm sure I made some noise. We all made noise. But I maybe got 3 hours. And I still have better part of 13 miles. And it's not any easier just because you are up on the ridge. But at least the big climbs are over. It's just going to be more gradual. A lot of rocks. The whole trail's rocks, so anyway, just wanted to check in. It's officially sunrise, 5:54 a.m. Great weather. Didn't have my rain fly on my tent last night. That didn't have to worry about any rain. Temperature dropped to about, I think it was in the mid-50s, maybe a little lower. Very, very pleasant temperatures. Great weather to be doing this. Making a climb up to Mount Jefferson now. See, it's no joke. Rock scrambles. Whew, very steep. I got this. I gotta say, the views make the difficulty of this trail worth it. Albeit I'm starting to develop I've been feeling pain in my left hamstring, actually in the tendon area, and also on the inside of the left knee, the lower knee. So hopefully that won't present a problem because I still have the majority of the journey to go. I have a plan though if it keeps on acting up. I've already tried the ibuprofen, didn't work. But if I have to, I'm going to make a compression sleeve. But we'll see how it holds up. All right, I'm going to summit Mount Jefferson. You can continue this way to skirt the top. You'll go around the top and not actually summit, but I'm going to do the loop back to the AT, or Gulfside Trail as it's called. It's worth the extra difficulty of it because it's right there and it's only a couple hundred feet more to climb. So I'm going to do this one. All right, I've reached the junction. This is the way I'm supposed to go back down to the Gulfside Trail. And Gaia has it wrong because it shows this is the high point on the mountain. But AllTrails actually has it right because it's the actual summit of Jefferson is right there. So in order to say I did it, I guess I'm going to walk another, whatever, 100, 200 feet up to say I bagged it. All right, I am at the highest point on the ridge here, in the section anyway, summited Jefferson. And it actually was only about 50 feet, maybe 75 feet of climbing. So it's always like an optical illusion here in the mountains. You can't tell how far something is or how high something is until you actually get up there. But there's no summit marker, but it is the highest point, so I've made it. Yeah. But there's still a lot more to go. So I don't want to celebrate too prematurely. So I also wanted to show you guys, because I'm going to take a break up here. But before I do, I wanted to show you the makeshift compression sleeve I made out of my neck gaiter. So I won't be able to protect my neck from the UV rays because it's very sunny, but I'm not too worried about that because I didn't have any issues last year in the sun on Madison. I was up there a while. So this is definitely relieving some of the pain I'm experiencing. And you'll have to forgive me if I don't correctly describe things. It's not in the hamstring, it's in the back of the knee. Hey, how's it going? It's in the back of the knee there and the tendon, so, but it seems to be working. Now see, if the trail was just like this, it wouldn't be so slow going, because I was just jogging that a little bit. A lot of trail runners up here too. 3 young guys, they were doing the goal of doing the whole thing, the whole traverse, in sub 10 hours. And here it's probably going to take me like 20 hours to hike the whole thing on an overnight. So they were doing it in a day. Started at 3:30 in the morning. One of the guys did. Anyway, this trail is views the whole way above tree line. So Mount Washington in the distance. Still 1.1 miles, and there it is. So close I could touch it. It took me 7 hours from this morning to reach this point, and it's 7 miles later. If I spend a lot of energy going over the remaining summits, especially one that looks as challenging as that, I got 7 miles to go. It'll put me well past dark. I skipped it. This Crawford Path, it's also part of the AT until they split past Mount Pierce. It's so easy. It's the easiest section of the trail so far. No rocks, no big rocks, with the exception of here. But it's a lot easier to make progress here. I'm cruising. If I would have gone over that, that would have put me about an hour behind. But Jackson and Pierce, I think, are doable. So I'll know for certain when I get there.
Ready to head on down?
I decided not to skip Eisenhower because it's only about 350, 400 feet elevation gain and a little over half a mile total to reconnect with the Crawford Path or AT, but I'm wiped out. Made it to the summit of Pierce, the last summit on the presidential range. So now head up the intersection down there and head down the Crawford Path for 2.7 miles back to the car at the Highland Center. Finally. It's been fun though, but grueling. Well, journey's end, finally. Seemed like every 1/10 of a mile was taking like too long. 10 minutes it seemed. I didn't really time it, but there's some really hard stretches on this trail. It is not to be underestimated. Definitely worthwhile if you like difficult trails with great views, but I'd give it 2 nights next time. Anyway, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more adventures to come.